care. Obviously, the last map is one that went away. The thing is, the deeper you get into a pool, the deeper you get into a tournament, the more people are going to have comfort across maps. The more you'll get more even-handed fights. Obviously, early on in the group stages, there were some teams that we were seeing firsts on map, second plays, because of how things function here. And in comparison to the usual either best of ones of previous tournaments of group stage or best of ones on it. The Ying ban, the Ying removal there, played generally more by W7M, but they don't want to play it here.
Just want to be making sure they're not coming up against it here, because it could be proving quite some troubles. Of course, we had the swings happen on the right time from the side of Koi when it was being brought, but well, W7M very, very confident in their own ability here, that they're able to make these takes happen without needing to have these big flashy balls just driving right through the site and blinding everybody.
Wow, I don't want to hear about those. The big flashy ball.
Scandellas.
Oh, okay. All right. Dining room kitchen, as you guys will see it in just a second. Potentially our first site. Opting instead to go, rather than AVG or the split site on the top trophy statuary, they're going to see if they can maybe start us off here on the ground floor, bring things to a bit of an opener, and you know, with the quick potential pull there of the Yammer, I'm wondering if that's going to stick around for this site, because they have been known to do these little sneaky Amaru plants up hatches, and there's not a direct sort of route through here, but there's always the chance of getting up for cover.
Yeah, or taking the top floor quickly, you know, just making sure you bring that pace, but the repick already came through. It's going to be the IQ instead to be brought by KZ. So the Thatcher gone for a Nomad. A lot of swaps actually coming through, a complete line of swap. Still some operators that stage. Just go to different different players here. Just to make sure the flank watch is on point is the reason why they have that Nomad, and also the line, of course, works in both those ways. There's more focus to it. Now, actually, fun fact, out of the 3 main sites that have been played on the 6th Invitational, this one actually does have the highest defensive win rate. It's not been played as much as the other 2, but it is generally quite successful. Of course, the living room has a bit of an exception, played 3 times, 100%. But that's one of those pocket strats, as KZ will be able to find one. Deepak goes for the jump back right afterwards. But this is quite dangerous.
That's a very long run. Yeah, that was... I mean, that's the thing about jumping out on Villa. There's not really many places you can get out one side and get in somewhere else. You're very limited on those sort of movements. It's very specific, and even the ones that sort of have a window and a sort of door above and below, there's still a big, lovely Italian lip to decorate the terrace roof, and it's awkward to make those kind of plays.
It definitely is. More often than not, you're going to find yourself caught off sooner rather than later. But if we now look at Koi's lineup, that is Solas gone, that is Pulse gone. 2 of the operators that could find information about where the plant was going to be happening have been removed off the board. Leaves it only up to Kanto, Spoiled, and Crime. Now are starting to drop down, which means verticality can be established by W7M. They can start hammering down with the Caber. Of course, that is the Sledgehammer name. Start trying and isolate these players. Find another pick before they go for an execute, because they have a minute advantage right now. 2 would be better.
And obviously, when these 2 teams hit heads throughout this series last time, came from the same group, they only really had Border as the potential repeat map here. This is all fresh. Oh, and KZ! He could have snapped. He double glanced back. They should maybe have been killed there. It was a little bit of a sort of slip and slide either side, and I think both of them will regret not getting their guns into the fight. Because in the meantime, W7M, look at this. Volps crouched his way in. They have no real idea. They're too busy looking up towards the skies. There's a second for Volps. A very clean swing round, and Kanto left alone. He's able to pull off the first. Looks for the second fight on China, but it's dropped on his head. And W7M open up with a first.
Urge wasn't having any of it. It's like, you're not going to be 1v4 clutching against us, so jumped right on top of him. It's a good start here for W7M. Under attack right away. Koi not deciding to go back to the dining room, as you see right here, beautiful double kill from Volps. Aviator Games is going to be the next side we will be heading to. That is the side most people will be aware with when you're seeing Villa. to get a trophy, probably the most played sites on this map, also in ranked and unranked. And Koi now needing to find success here. Verticalities are being created to stop people from just moving up the main stairs and putting pressure down on the player that might be sitting himself up there. Need some long angles as well, set up from the vault, just to make sure that there is always that opportunity of contesting people out on the balcony, and the shield on the roost table, just to do the same towards the landing area. That is going to be 3 of the most important parts that Koi has set up for.
Okay, Koi. Another false start. And the memories of Villa throughout this tournament for them are that they opened with a loss on it. The only team of these two, I believe, off the top of my head, that's played it between the pair of them, and it was the opening game versus G2, and it went away from them. It was about, I think, a 7-4, 7-5 maybe. I don't think it quite got all the way, but it got close enough to. So they want to make sure that they can try and get a little bit more momentum earlier on here. W7M, it's their place. You know that they're going to be heading over into their defense. Trickier to sort of maintain and control.
Indeed, the loss against G2 is out there, but what they should be more worried about is KZ just about to be swinging himself in with the Gara hook right here. He's hoping to bring some pace on the roam clear up top. He's just waiting for the drones to be giving away the information that he needs to be successful. But there's 3 players of Koi all around him. If he does swing through, he needs to make a very quick decision to either run left or right. Hurts in the meantime takes a small amount of damage as well. KZ, it's a barricade. Does he hear it?
Does he know?
It's an alibi Prisma right there as well, so if he does go through, he will be pinged.
Well, there's the swing, the reveal, the play in the place. He's revealed, and he's not going to sit around because he knows there's a lot to be shot round on that corner. As you said, the alibi placement, it gets them the read on the attempt. It was on the back of the E1D. They tried to go with something as a surprise factor, but always, I think, had the idea of, I'm in and I'm out. I'm not inning pushing. I'm going to make sure that I can maybe pull a body and then leave, and we can sort of, you know, strike in the night.
Now W7M is split across 2 sites. You have the study, and you also have, in the meantime, a couple of the players. Oh, a beautiful shot from Spoit. It's going to stay on the bedroom side, who have been clearing it out after it has been abandoned by the rest of Koi. But with that entry kill, Koi, they can start turtling up a little bit more.
Herds on the top of red stairs, trying to find the fight across the back end of the red door, and they move away from the shield as Julio is able to move into Deepek. Kanto, oh, he's just entirely caught out there. They had his number and his watch. He's able to slip himself away with a flicker of health, but it opens up this ground for them to try and move in. The smoke canister pops, stops them on the vault door. They're going to go for the break on the shield. The rotate is actually going to punish Spoit there. He wanted to swing onto the fight, but a little bit of timing goes away from him, and they have another body crying. He's getting himself set up and ready. Kanto, in the meantime, strikes on the back end. With a little bit of health in the escape he had, he's putting some danger down. Volps takes the sight or the pressure onto Study, and it's sort of a back and forth. Leon, he's now in the middle of it. Kanto with the rotate round. Julio gets the take on the back end, and Kanto, he's got to make a little bit of movement happen. The first fight is Volps's, though. And there's 2 rounds here for W7M.
How do you start breaking down that round? Because, you know, they have the entry kill, they slow it down. Kento gets spotted, another player gets isolated on the initial fight, the grenade kill comes through, just everything going W7M's way as we're trying to dispatch of these players and regain that numbers advantage. They'll be more than happy with it so far. 2-0 on the attack. If they manage to find one more round, they have basically done what they need to already, and everything from there on forward is going to be a bonus. Because if they get the opportunity to lock this out in a 2-0, they'll be jumping on that fact, because they have been playing, as you mentioned, basically every single map, every single game. So a bit of rest is always appreciated for them.
I mean, it's also the thing to sort of say as well, is for how much we're all looking at this as a big game, and Koi obviously aren't playing to the level that we've seen them play in some of these series. There's always still the potential. It's not over until it's over, and it's early doors on the second map. But if they don't pick it up and find some of the energy that they've had on their day throughout this series, including the last time they played against W7M, then it's almost W7M sort of making the statement, we still have the energy left towards the end of the tournament. There's, what, 3 days of Siege play technically left after this one. There's the break day in the middle. And you're just sort of looking at this W7M going, for all the times where we felt we were tired by the time we got out of groups and we'd sort of our energy was what we needed to work on, they look as energized as ever.
True workhorse. W7M just able to continue going. Hertz finds Kanto on the upside down rappel. That's a sloppy way to lose an entry engagement there. No real fight even in there. Is Koi trying to retake some of that ground, going aggressive? They need to be careful though, because, you know, the drones will be starting to roll in soon. Hertz, he's ready to go on it. All he needs is the word go in Portuguese. And he'll be going in right after. 3 players around him.
The information game has been so good here from W7M as well. They seem to have a really good, at least close knowledge of where players are. They're not going for the exact sort of specifics on the yellow pings and building around that, but they're getting a taste of where a player is, setting themselves up, and then pushing the call, putting the pressure on and going, okay, we know that we can win the fight if they try and fight their way out of this, and they keep doing it. Obviously, there's little moments where an escape happens, like Cancel on the previous round on Red Stairs, but then look what they're doing it for. They then put the pressure onto site. They open up the route of what they really want. The fight is just a boon. The win of the kill is a nice addition to otherwise their sort of plan that, I mean, Koi are just struggling to escape away from W7M's grand plan.
Lack of knowledge out there that Hertz was out on the balcony, so as soon as they wanted to go for the fight on KZ, who let himself be known, it's Deepak that instantly strikes back though, so he finds that 1 kill. Neon Gates is now close in the corner on 90 as well. He's going to be one of these next targets on the side of W7M. These that they want to hunt down. Very much aware, Hertz, he's not just going to be able to jump in because this window might be watched by someone like Spoy or Deepak. Whilst they have fallen back now and it is safe to go for that jump in, he's just there to stop any kind of study play to try to come through. He's actually jumped in right here.
Inside the site, on the back of the strategy table, there's a pop of a smoke, but I don't know if they know just how close he is. That one sort of makes the statement they do. Forces them back out. 29 seconds, a 5 versus 3. Volps is underneath with grenades, trying to catch Deepak. And he does. Takes care of the gun vault, takes care of the drive in the site, and it's all down to Leon. He's looking for the first engagement, finds it. Now he's swinging around towards the second. The cover on the door, he just somehow claims it. A 2 versus 1, 1 down the stairs. Is the barbed wire breaking? 1 tucked on the plant, previously seen, but inside the gun vault, it's theirs to take. And 3 in a row for W7M.
Very clean approach coming through there from W7M. There's really nothing you can say about it. Like, it's just so clean when they move in. They have all these angles. They play in contact of each other. They bait Koi to go for a swing. But if they go for a timeout, let's just quickly listen in.
Take some more traps, take some more info, and keep it really safe, keep it really fucking simple, right? Are you guys spotting this opening super hyper-aggressive play for these past few rounds?
No.
What are they doing?
They're just going everywhere. They're trying to find a freebie.
They're trying to bully you out of your positions. They're not even trying to get a freebie. You're giving them the freebies by peeking them on the windows, by pushing them on the screen, things like that. Play it safe, play it slow, boys. Right? They're letting you do the work.
Yep. So remember, guys, our advantage is let them come in and we play together as a team, okay? So let them come in the building and then we double peek. We play swing off of Echo drones, swing off Valcams, whatever we need, okay?
This is a big one as well. Stop being scared of the lion scam. It's just a ping. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go, boys.
Let's go.
Fucking go, boys. Thank you. I play a lot. I'm gonna take the fucking duck again.
Just a ping.
I'm gonna play a little Echo.
Nowadays,
Nowadays it is.
Meepy's a veteran. He's lived in the days when it was not just a ping.
Like, not that scary anymore.
We lived in the days of it being
Look, when Ryan loses like, 5 kilograms of muscle, he's still going to be scary, but not as scary as it used to be.
All right, Koi. Things are slipping dangerously close towards a lower bracket fight and attention having to be paid down under. They are still guaranteed playing on the main stage. They would be playing the winner of potentially, I can't remember the 2 teams. I don't remember the seeding. But one of the other teams we'll see later on today.
You mean the team that wins this will play against?
No, the team that loses this.
Oh, yes.
They won't be playing again today, but
yeah,
of the teams
Friday.
that play later on, they'll be deciding against one of them to see if they can keep the fight on.
Yeah, that's very true. That will take place on Friday, one of the first games out there. Either first or second. Time ticking down. Spoit going for a spawn peek. Not going to be able to find anything as of yet. He makes himself to be known again, and those tracers get found. He's not going to be traded out for it instantly. He will get to live. But he's definitely put some fear into the minds of W7M. Like, hey, someone is looking out for us. Someone is trying to find us. Gonna have to isolate that person before we truly move in. Frostmats are going to be making sure that a quick jump in from the window is not going to be as successful as it might otherwise be. Is all there to just slow them down and, of course, to force them to either look down on the ground or to look up and try and find a gunfight. It's a very expensive choice to make 9 out of 10 times. So you need to be making sure you clear them out in different ways, and that's either by upside down repels or use grenades or anything like that.
Well, here are those used grenades, and will they give up the ground? They're not quite swinging or leading in. They're playing themselves a little bit more claustrophobic, although that was a slink on by. The underground movement of KZ, a slow and steady creep. Cryan is holding on the back end to catch a potential rotate. Spoit is above. There's a grenade that might try and loose, but just gets rid of the barbed wire for now, gives them an option, and then heads back to the opposite side of the stairs. There's a bit of a scrappy fight between Herds and Leon. In the meantime, towards the site itself, and Cryan's going to pull themselves back. They don't want to give them the slightly further away engagement. They do give them the audio. There's Herds right up against the wall. Not quite able to get the catch. The air jab will stop. A bit of movement around on the back end. They can hold it and maybe try and put some pressure down towards either the wall of the site or the swing in or the bathroom.
Minute on the clock. Deepak is on his drones. If you wonder what that person, the other bomb chassis, is doing, that's just providing information, which you can see right here. They know exactly where the swing is going to be coming from, but those talent shields are going to be the problem. The swing around comes. Julio does live in the end.
They're planning behind it. There it is, the break over the top. They've got to try and swing the fight. Herds and JV92, and it goes down, but so do they. Suddenly a 2 versus 3. They could not stop the plant. Deepak under huge bits of pressure. Cryan has to rotate his way back up. They force the movement with the Oster shield. Deepak cannot tank that, and cannot tank that either. Cryan hit by the air jab on the breach, and W7M. Talk about taking just what you need. They couldn't have taken less for more.
I mean, they were like, you know what, why don't we just go for it at that point, right? It's like, it's just this one person taking swings at us. If I manage to get the talent shield down, this plant is going to be safe. And yes, a C4 was tossed at, but that was shut out by the cover overhead. So, not able to actually stop that plant from happening. That puts us on 0-4. W7M have done more than they need to find themselves in a good half here. So everything else is going to be double bonus. They managed to find a 5th round. If they might even be able to find themselves a 6th round on this half, Koi might be in some big trouble. They already are in trouble. It's just not insurmountable yet.
No, it's always down to how you can do it. As I said, they've pulled back from worse before. It's not going to be in any sense easy because W7M are offering them nothing other than good ideas and good plays. And it's just consistent as well. They know the game that they wanted to bring here, W7M. And Koi have struggled to find the movement to adapt and break back against it. So they go for things like this. Leon, with the spray over the top, was able to pull some big Solace plays off on the previous map here. Not quite gifted. No! JV92 sprays back. And it's always the sort of gamble if you're spraying through soft like that.
Still have Deepak ready on the cardiac sensor. We might see a C4 fly in afterwards. I believe Cryan actually went for a throw as well. He's getting himself spotted as he opens up the window. W7M is just fully aware of everything that Koi's throwing at them. Cryan lucky to come out alive there. He should have been picked up as well.
I mean, it's terrifying. W7M know everything. They're pulling all this information out there, always seemingly one step ahead. And, you know, sometimes it's just things line up perfectly, but most of the time it has been phenomenal. The intel game, the gathering, the lockdown, and then the push behind it is so consistently built here for W7M, and you cannot argue that they have come here to play one more body. Herds pushes on by, removes Kanto in the meantime. There's still the dangerous C4s underneath. There's the run out, and there's the take onto at least one, but Deepak caught on the swing back round, the E1D to try and make sure nobody goes for the trade on the back of it. They found a single body. They've taken 2 back. Spoit versus what probably feels like the world right now.
They are not here to just play Emmy. They are here to end Koi, send them back down to the lower bracket. They do not want to be around there longer than they have to. And as that plan goes down, Spoit, he is a champion on his rookie debut. He is not going to be finding any kills in this situation. W7M move on. 0-5. And they are here to make sure that, you know, this could be a potential 7-0 to come through. And Leon, he had the right idea on that spray. He was very close in actually picking up the kill. Just stayed around a little bit too long there. And now we head to round 6, which will be Aviator. Lost twice before. Clean approaches from W7M were the successful factor. What are you going to do to disrupt that, Koi?
What can you do at this point against a team that has seemingly taken all that was pulled away from Latin America yesterday, the games that they lost, and then brought it in earlier on here against one of the tournament favorites? I mean, we always sort of said, I had the great joy bumping into Agu from the Brazilian team. He said it was a very, very sad day for Brazilian CG Sports yesterday in Latin America. I can only imagine how much he's smiling right now. 5-0. W7 are up on their attack here on Villa, the second map. And they are looking very likely to confirm this.
They're looking very strong. Koi not really having anything really to throw at them. I mean, if you look at the kills, 10 in total over these 5 rounds, meaning 2 on average. That's not enough to win rounds. You need to find more than that. Quick taking care of the camera here. W7M is trying to find themselves an entry. Monty's being brought in. How are you going to be dealing with that? Because you didn't have to face it yet. Now suddenly, you'll be fighting against 4 guns and that big shield coming towards you.
Well, there it is, the break onto the soft walls, the idea of putting the pressure on the Monty. Well, if you said before the problem, Koi, was that you were giving them the space and not quite holding on, how do you try and hold the space against this? The man that can just drive himself in. There's a close fight either side. Do they know about Spoit? I mean, they've seemingly known a lot, and Spoit is obviously the perfect person to get into not only this engagement, but doesn't want to give his position away, because he's technically buying Kanto some of the cover and support. There's the consistent pings. There's the charge. He misses it. Hertz gets the team kill. Spoit almost got the team kill too. Hertz at least picks one back up. The kit has gone, but so has the Monty.
That Monty being taken care of by Hertz for Koi. It's gonna be some help for them, and now it's gonna be a bit of a fight over the pixel here. They don't quite want to rotate. JV92 comes in to help though, finds one. As the drop back comes through, Deepak finds a response. Koi, they need to win this round if they want to give themselves a buffer to play with. JV92 being hit a little bit knows about a player that's still down on that first floor. If he hunts him down, if he finds the kill, it is gonna be Koi in massive trouble here.
3 versus 2. Leon and Cryan. Leon had some big impact in the fight on the previous map. Cryan hasn't had an impact on this one yet at all. And they've stacked themselves up with 50 seconds and the pressure being angled towards the site itself. There's still some pockets of utility, still a little bit of usage, but it being breaching charges probably isn't going to get them too much further than the single flash round. The impact back on. Volps holding down one angle, with the eyes down long there, sort of waiting, communicating. You can see the conversation and the rotate is coming in from Hertz on the back end. He's making sure he can slip his way up. It'll get called, but they have the man advantage. They're allowed to do this. Leon's going to see if he can try and pull that fight back round. Tucks himself, cannot win it out. And a huge fight. It's down to Cryan. He's looking for the first. I said the flash was all they had. He's able to win the first fight out on the back of it. Tucked behind the bar. It's the goo mine in the foot. And it's the perfect half for W7M.
They got a bit stressful there with that last flashbang coming through, trying to find a fight with a goo mine in your feet. But enough time for them to lock that out. And now 6 map and series points. As Hurts, well, he took care of a problem for Koi, but became the problem afterwards. Taking down that final kill. Koi, what are you gonna do? Sense, Amaru? Okay. Could be, oh, if we lose, we lose. Did you hear that call?
If we lose, we lose.
If we lose, we lose. They're gonna go for a very quick play here. And they are fully aware of the fact of the risks that they're taking.
I mean, at this point in the game, what else can you do? You have to sort of have the mentality. Sure, it's not over. And, you know, technically this would tie things up as 2 maps each at this tournament. It would bring Koi and W7M to that sort of head of,
Yeah.
you take this one, we take that one.
Even though the maps Koi were a lot more hard fought. 7-5, 8-6 eventually. Round count definitely will be in favor of W7M after this one.
Yeah.
Now, the if we lose strategy might actually work out, considering 3 of the W7M members are offside. There's only Julio on side, Volps quite close. There needs to be a rotation very quickly once this gets found out.
Well, they'll start it off here, the pressure onto the balcony, and look at Volps. He goes for the spray through, does a lot of damage to Leon, can't quite get the solid on the kill. They're able to get themselves around to the window on the stretch, but the rotates come back towards the site itself. Quick motion here from W7M. I think they read the pressure, I think they read the idea, and they're going to make sure that they're not entirely caught unaware. Maybe it was a call that, well, I saw a sense and I couldn't quite get them. But it might give them the lead in here. Some of the grenades, some of the swing, some of the pressure to potentially come underneath. You got Spoit and Kanto wanting to maybe swing against Volps. They're just checking that library's clear, that they're not going to get caught out from behind. It's the start of the break and the start of it broken. Volps gets Spoit. The swing round the stairs, there's another there, they've got the shield, they're trying to find the fight on the angle. The Ash is going to reveal themselves, maybe not knowing how much cover and support. It's a very dangerous stance. The canister buys time, the pressure onto Study, they do find the response. But there's another player creeping down the stairs, and KZ and JV92 are doing their own business of trouble. Julio with the shotgun, locks it down, crying, he's on death's door too. 3 players, barely much more than that of health. And he's got to see if he can try and hold on. If we lose, we lose. And if he wins, he's a hero, but he cannot quite eke it out. W7M will move on to the upper bracket.
And they'll be facing off there for a final matchup to find out if they will be the first Grand finalists. They played amazingly throughout this game, and we always keep saying about them, when do they run out of gas? Definitely not during this game. A 7-0